Hello the internet, welcome to the first episode of Pete's Feral Fabrications. Instead of explaining what we're going to be doing, let me just show you. Cue dramatic reveal. Okay, so this is a 1974 Ford Capri. It is a V6 model. Now, basically, it's a clapped out race car. And we're gonna go racing. So we're still running the original V6 3 litre. She's been warmed up a wee bit. This engine was actually, when I purchased it, already assembled in the car, running. So basically I have no idea what's been done to the motor. I do know it has a bit of a lumpy cam, which makes this engine quite grumpy. At the moment we have no front wheels or brakes. We have one seat. We actually need two to go racing, part of the rules. And we also had to fit bumpers. We've had to remove the flared guards which used to be on this car and also fit 13-inch wheels. So basically the plan is to take you along on the ride of taking this car from where it is now, obviously with no front wheels and no brakes, through to going racing, and that is in about a month's time, so it's not very long. Now, as you can see, we'll maybe put a bit more light on the situation so you can see. My workshop is a mess. So the first thing we're going to do is tidy this place up and get it a bit more sorted. Okay, so here we are with some brakes. These are the original Ford Capri units, type M16. They've got a 54mm piston. There's two of them per caliper, so they just bolt straight onto the car. There's no floating pin arrangement or anything like that. And basically what had happened is the pistons had seized, so need a rebuild to be able to lock up some front wheels on the racetrack. So they're the old dust seals, see, completely toast really, and those are the old square cut seals. Got replacement seal kits from the local parts shop, B&T, 30 bucks a piece, so 60 bucks to rebuild these front brakes. Working with brakes always pays to get gloves on. Now I could get replacement piston kits as well, or replacement pistons. As you can see, these ones do have a bit of corrosion on the outside there, the very end. I don't think that's going to affect the operation because these are not usually all the way back, so I'm just going to rebuild them and see how we go. There'll be plenty of other things to throw money at this race car besides brakes. So these have been getting cleaned up for about a week, I and degreaser. Though originally the pistons were seized, so had to screw the grease gun in, take one of the nipples out, put the grease gun in where the brake line normally goes, to basically pump the piston out slowly. And once they're out, it's just basically a process of cleaning them up. I'm going to do a little bit more cleaning with this wire brush just to get into that groove where that square cut seal goes. Want to make sure that's extra clean, to make sure we get a good seal, because that is the actual high pressure part. Then we'll clean everything up with brake clean before assembly, and we'll bring in a fresh bit of cardboard so that we've got everything nice and clean for the final assembly. Hey guys, we've got these brakes back together. I haven't bothered changing pads because I really want to see how they're going to perform before I bother making any upgrades. I'll probably change these out the next step to some race performance pads like EBC brakes, and then if that's not enough, we'll probably upgrade the calipers as well. Part of the rules is though you're going to use period correct parts for this racing class, and so we can only really go to like an older style 4-pot brake caliper with upgraded pads would be sort of the ultimate we can go to. We can't go to like brand new Willwood brakes or anything like that. So these aren't actually too bad in terms of the class. With some upgraded pads, the car's reasonably light and not super high power, so that's probably going to be should be enough, at least for my driving skill at the moment. So we'll get these on the car and start the process of getting them bled. Cue time lapse. Okay guys, so we've got the passenger side done now. Pretty much exactly the same deal. Braided brake lines on the side as well. I guess some other things about the front end while we're under the guard. It is running adjustable coilovers. I shortened the shock absorber component so that these did remain captive, because they were basically, the shock was way too long, so the spring was just flopping around in there. So I've made that captive. That's all the suspension travel it needs, because any more than that and the sump will actually grind on the road, because the car's very low. So you know, that's sort of 3.5 inches of travel, and that's pretty much all the ground clearance this thing's got. Some other things I've done to the front end while I've been in here is I've renewed all of the bushes. So new bushes here, new bushes here on the sway bar, and also at the front here. The other thing I've done is, well, this was actually already done, is to give additional front camber on this front end. I've re-drilled the subframe to move this pivot further out, therefore giving more angle on the strut. So to do that, it had the effect of making this steering rack too short. So what I've done is, to fix that, is to put some spacers in here behind the steering mount, steering arm mount. Just maybe turn this around so you can see better. So you can see the spacers here. So by spacing that out, that fixed the issue of these being too short, and I thought that was a much tidier thing than trying to lengthen these rods, and I couldn't find any like longer tie rod ends. You can get like threaded couplers to make these longer, but I thought that that was probably less of a tidy solution than just spacing that out. Spacers are really simple and can't really fail, whereas a threaded connection is probably more likely to come loose. So I don't think that's going to affect the steering performance at all, and it gives it a nice amount of camber on the front end. You'll be able to see when the wheels go on and put this back on the deck. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'll leave it there for now, and we'll see you next episode.